Good morning, everybody. Usually I record in the evening and upload overnight, but I had a bit of a long day and I didn't have time, so I'm going to do a morning upload. Today is the Bladeguard Ancient. Once again, we have the big, fancy Indomitus Primaris sprue with all the really cool units on it. I just love to look at this sprue. I won't gush all too much, but man, it is awesome, and I'm always drawn back to the Eradicator Melt-A-Guns. They're super cool. All right, let's get to the Bladeguard Ancient. I'm pretty sure you can guess we're gonna need number 15. This guy looks like he's 15 through 19, so he's just like a few of the past ones we've done. He's only a few pieces. Let's start clipping. Is he the one with the... Yeah, he's the guy with the hand. I thought that would be the chaplain, but he's the dude holding a skeleton hand. All right. So far, so good. We've got a thin gate right here. So I'm going to watch for this main piece wobbling. When I start to apply pressure, it did a little bit. You probably saw that bend. I like to avoid that if possible. But up here we also have a lot of spots we've got to clip with these little details. And if I get too excited, I'll just do like these big swinging kind of chomps, and sometimes I'll clip those off. So I'm going to be very careful not to do that this time. Not too shabby. Ooh, sorry. Nudging the camera with my fingers. Still haven't gone out and got like a normal phone mount. If anyone knows or has a suggestion for a holder for my phone to record, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to start digging around today, I think. I've got it kind of propped up on a acrylic display stand, and then I got a phone holder that I 3D printed that's propped up to the angle I need it by using a rhino and some Warcry cards. So it is definitely, I guess that'd be Gene Stealer Cult or Orc Technology. Yeah, Orc Technology. Yeah, let's cut that hand off. Oh, it's only 2 pieces. I was really spooked. I know I've shown it off a bunch, but I was expecting there to be a gate down there. I don't really care for the ones on the shoulders, so we'll see if we can smooth that shoulder out. G18. You know, with all the different backpacks on this guy, I was just wondering if it matters, but there are slight differences to these. This one has the little spikes and the skull. These ones, I believe, are the Eradicators because they have that extra armor plate. Where are some other ones, if there are any? Oh yeah, we've got the halo on this one. That's probably the chaplain. And I think that's another Eradicator. So do make sure to actually follow along. Oh no, those are the Bladeguard, because there's 2 of them. That big old skull is probably the chaplain. Ooh. Sorry, I just went and nudged a huge chunk. G17 for the helm we want. Oh, it's right here. This one, the grouping is pretty good. I haven't had to shoot all the way around. It's all been kind of right there, which is great. Yeah, here's your last piece, 16. I've mentioned, oh geez. Hold on, let me see if I can clip this chunk out so I can show you this gate. It's gargantuan. Look at that. It's huge. All the other ones come to this nice little tiny edge for easy clipping. Look at that. Decently smooth. This guy, though, you don't want to clip it from this side because getting the clippers in there, you're going to scratch against the model. Whoa. So I'm going to clip it down a little and then try to attack it again when I have more room. Because just like shoulders, if I go and I scratch this part, it's a pain to fix up. Yeah. I know it's a major support holding this in, but I don't like that at all. So we will be extra careful. There we go. And now we can attack that with our X-Acto knife or hobby knife, whatever you use. All right, I'm gonna go real slow to try to get the big uneven surfaces and then scrape it with the back of my blade until it feels smooth to the touch. What I'll do is I'll use my fingernails to go over it. I don't know if my camera's picking that up, but it kind of makes a grinding sound, where if you're on any other part of the mini, it doesn't, and that shows there's still an uneven surface. Really, I should try to tackle this with some high grit sandpaper, and then hit it with a matte varnish to fill that. But sometimes just attacking it with a reverse stroke from your X-Acto knife works really well. Not too shabby. Let's smooth off the rest of this. Here we go. We are exactly 1 week from the Indomitus release, and I have to have this kit ready for the release day for the shop. I get occasional people asking how I have this, and there's a local game store that has asked me to build it for them for launch day so people can come in, see it all built and looking good, and they can get an idea of what they'd be getting, because you see all the minis on the website and it's one thing, but then you see them in person and it is just so much cooler. There's so many more than I was expecting, despite knowing exactly how many there were. It's that wow and cool factor. And I'll pretty much go in, give them their fully assembled box, and walk out with a brand new box and get to do this all over again. Except for with mine, I am going to try to convert them to Space Wolves, because Space Wolves are the best Legion, hands down. I don't want to hear any arguments. It's a fact. I'm kidding. I fully expect arguments. Your chosen Space Marine Legion or chapter is more serious than your political affiliation or religion sometimes. At least in the game stores when you hear people talking about it. That wasn't too bad. I'm now seeing a big old mold line right there, so I'm going to try to tackle that. Again, scraping with the back of my X-Acto knife. If you go too hard or you have a dull X-Acto knife, sometimes you can leave very thin, fine scratches. And if you airbrush primer, you will see them pop up. I haven't really ever noticed them with the Games Workshop primers. They're a little thicker and they fill those gaps, but with an airbrush primer, I see every little mistake and detail, and sometimes it is just the worst. Spend a lot of time converting something. Oh man, that's expected, that mold line. Spend a lot of time converting or building and doing all this work, and then you're like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. Prime it. And gaps and scratches and little buildup of material from doing this scratching. Ooh, that's a chunky boy. Oh man, whoa. Okay, so I was a little unsure what kind of skeleton this was supposed to be, and I just noticed something that makes it clearly a Space Marine skeleton is that little thing. I don't know the lore term for them, but in the lore, when Space Marines have their armor off, they have these kind of socket things all over. And, oh yeah, you can also see his rib cage is one. Well, I don't know if they did that intentionally, but Space Marines don't really have individual ribs, if I remember right. They have a rib, like, slab. So this guy's walking around with a, excuse me, Space Marine skeleton that's still a little gooey. He's got an eye. Dang. Grim, dark as hell. That's the way I like it. I'm going to zoom in a little. So I will stop bumping my camera mount. There we go. This is so awesome. They've got so much additional detail on these purity seals. If you go back and look at like the old Tactical Marine kit, purity seals are just kind of these slabs. But dang, they've come a long way. I mean, I've told my friends this, but I'll say it on stream. I think Games Workshop has better quality than Forge World. I know that resin is capable of higher detail, and I don't know if, say, the Primarch kits would be the exact crisp detail that Forge World gets, but Forge World has some problems, and there's a lot more cleanup. There I go, and I bump it again. And where we are with Games Workshop kits, I would take a slightly less crisp model for one that's this detailed, because this is insane. All that. And plastic, easy to build, lower cost, over a expensive Forge World kit any day of the week. You know, take, okay, I might have said more detail. It's maybe 5% less than Forge World, just because your corners aren't hard edges, but honestly, I don't like that. I've built some Forge World rhinos, and some of those pieces with the hard edges, it sounds silly, but they're a little sharp when you're working with them, and it can be uncomfortable. All right, there we go. And if you care, his base. Plop. Let's get to gluing. All right. He is 2 steps, 2 little, squares on the sheet. Basically, you glue everything together, then you put the arm on. So we'll start with the helmet. One thing, though, I do wish Games Workshop did that Forge World does great is the spare heads. The 30K Chapter and Legion specific heads are gorgeous. I've bought a few kits of the Space Wolf ones just to throw them around on some Primaris Marines, and they look great. I know that GW is doing the upgrade kits. I've got one somewhere around here, but I just need more heads. That's definitely a Space Wolf specific thing. You get Ultramarines or whatever who wear the helmets all the time. That's fine. A bunch of helmets. You just paint them different. If you didn't know, Space Wolves prefer not to wear helmets because their gene seed gives them higher heightened hearing, smell, and whatnot, and they use those in battle. I'm going to check if this just covers that up. And with their helmet on, they can't smell anything, which sounds really, really silly. Okay, so check this out. All that detail under this is covered. There's a small gap, but you can't see much anything. From the bottom, you can't see much anything, and from the sides you can't. But we have full legs underneath. In the past, I feel like that would have been covered up. But nope, we get the full thing. I don't know why they did it, but I like it. If I don't know, want to do a conversion where he doesn't have the back on, we can do that, and it won't just be a smooth surface. I would love to know more about the way these are made, how they design the push fit part. Oh man, it's just great. It's small, but all the extra details on the cloth. That fits really snug, really nice. Honestly, that might have been the easiest push fit so far. We've got a few small little gaps, but they'll probably be obscured by the arm. They left gaps here for the cloth. Big, huge Primaris bolt pistol holster. It's always ridiculous. I don't know if you ever tried to glue like a bolt pistol or chainsword to be mag locked to your Space Marines. It always looks silly. The holster looks cool, but I feel like if I held up the bit, that one might actually fit. But like the old bolt pistol holsters were always a little bit smaller than the actual bolt pistols. Now this one, that is a long rod. So the instructions kind of have it go through the back and into the front, and I think that's why the back fit well, is because this is going to go all the way through. Oh yeah, but that was really easy. The Necrons are definitely a little bit harder to build than the Space Marines. I do think I would have preferred this to be on part of the base. I just have bad history with these bending and breaking and transport. I think it looks like it's pretty flush with the base, so if I do scenic bases on my own, I can just pop it right in there. All right, let's get a good close-up of this hand. This is silly in the best ways, and I love it. We've got a guy walking around with a big dead dude. Oh, it's the dead dude's hand. Look at that. So he's walking around with this guy like so. I don't know, in battle maybe. Falls off. And then he puts his gun away and picks it up and just says, I'm not going to glue it back up there. I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to walk around and slap dudes with this skeleton hand. Oh my gosh. I got to check. Does he have... All right, I got to get the rules real quick. First off, does he have a close combat weapon? If not, when you fight with this guy in close combat, he's gonna be slapping people with a hand. All right. This is, we got Captain, Chaplain, Judicar. I'm calling it Judicar up here. Bladeguard Vet, Bladeguard Ancient. He does not have a chainsword. He does not have anything. That is the best. He's not punching you. He's slapping you with a skeleton hand. So if you went and fought this guy, and he kills you, or he wounds you, he slapped you with the dead guy's hand. He's got 4 attacks, 5 in the charge, basic stat line, strength 4, weapon skill 3. That is awesome. Oh, and he gives +1 to hit rolls. So his skeleton hand... Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Imagine playing like you're fighting Abaddon and this guy walks up all dope with his big stick. And you could say he's going to hit you with the stick, but come on. Come on. Look at those purity seals, everything hanging from it. That is definitely not a weapon. This hand, though, that's a weapon. So he walks up to Abaddon. Abaddon's on 1 wound. And he just takes his hand and freaking backhands Abaddon. Does a wound. Abaddon fails his save. And that's game. That would be the highlight of 9th edition to me. Any big model, big scary thing like a knight. I'm just going to jam these fingers into your toes, your pistons. Little tiny clog. Oh, fix the clog and it just spews everywhere. Bam. Done. That's a lot, so I'm just going to dip, dab, whatever you want to call it. And insert. See if this guy stays. The easiest kit. Oh, okay, here's a weird thought. He's only got 1 pauldron. I didn't notice that at all. Aside from scouts, I don't think I've ever seen a Space Marine kit with 1 pauldron or no pauldrons. That's really cool. He looks great. Thank you for watching. I'm excited. I'm really excited for next week. I hope you guys are too. And I'll see if I can get another video with some Necrons going. Have a good one.